Hello again. Well, if you've been watching earlier videos, I spent a fair amount of time talking about the senator from Arizona. I spoke about a few of them. I spoke about Jeffrey the Flake, and I also spoke in great length about the songbird of the Hanoi Hilton. And there's another senator that I've talked about as well out of South Carolina, and his name's Lindsey Graham. He and the senator out of Arizona tend to hang out together a lot. They travel to Egypt together at the beckoning of Barack Hussein and St. Obama. They went there to try to free the tyrant that's been imprisoned, Mohammed Morsi. They weren't successful, fortunately. McCain's been censured by the Republican Party here in Arizona on a number of occasions, and apparently so has the senator from South Carolina been recently censured. And his spokesman isn't all that concerned. He said that the senator is focusing on the 20,000 constituents. He's coming up for re-election, and hopefully they've woken up. What's actually frightening is that 20,000 people can determine the fate of a senator being elected or not being elected. And that individual can have either a positive or negative impact on the country. In the case of the songbird of the Hanoi Hilton, and in the case of Lindsey Graham, they tend to cross the aisle more often than not. I've made mention of this in a number of videos. If someone is elected to represent their constituents, it's because they said that they had the same values. And by crossing the aisle, they're obviously no longer expressing those same values, otherwise they wouldn't be crossing the aisle. I expect a senator that I vote for, or a congressman that I vote for, to stand firm and never cross the aisle. You cannot agree with the enemy. And as far as I'm concerned, that's exactly what they are. So to have the senator from Arizona, the songbird of the Hanoi Hilton, have a very close friend by the name of Carl Levin, who's the senator out of Michigan. And the two of them supposedly put together the National Defense Authorization Act. I personally don't believe that's true. I believe it was given to them by the administration to make it appear as if though they did it, and it was done on a bipartisan basis. Neither one of those has the intelligence to put something like that together. And neither one would, because it's so destructive to the American way of life. It gives the president the power to put anyone that he feels to be a threat in prison or wherever. They just disappear. No habeas corpus, no Miranda rights, no legal representation. They're just gone. And that's what the National Defense Authorization Act allows the president to do. I've talked about that at great length in previous videos. If you want to learn more about it, just look it up. It's all over the web. And again, this isn't about the National Defense Authorization Act. This is really about our senators and our congressmen. And they need to have their teeth kicked out. Once again, if they're elected by their constituents expect them to have the same values that they had when they ran for their positions. But that doesn't happen. And it hasn't happened. And it's more obvious with individuals like the senator from South Carolina, like the senator from Arizona. So please do your research before you vote for any of these representatives. Make certain that they hold your values, and make certain that they uphold the values that they say that they hold. Otherwise, what's the point? Otherwise, you end up with RINOs. Republican in name only. That, my friend, is what they are, and that's why they have to go. That's what I think. Hopefully, you agree.